What exciting adventures will we choose?
Welcome back to Retired Time to Cruise. Today, we're in beautiful and historic Panama City, Panama.
This vibrant city is known for its stunning architecture, rich culture, and of course the engineering marvel that is the Panama Canal. We're going to discuss several tours of the Panama Canal locks and the museum and some of the city and natural wildlife areas. A must-see for anyone cruising through this area. But before we do that, we'd like to thank our faithful viewers.
We're still pretty new, so every view, comment, and like is very important to us.
If you haven't already, please subscribe too.
We want to keep putting out new content, and we're so excited that starting in a few days, we'll actually have our own footage, and we won't be recording here anymore. We'll actually be
On the ship! And we won't be stuck with stock footage, which is the bane of my video editing.
But we do have quite a few of our own photos, but the problem with photos is, well, still photos are still, and we're doing video.
And we can't remember where they're from.
That's right, that too. We arrive in Panama City at 7 a.m. So be ready to explore, especially since we overnight and do a daylight transit of the canal. The excursions today are all about the Panama Canal, one of the greatest engineering feats of the 20th century.
We're especially excited to see the locks in action again and help you learn more about the canal's history and how it shaped global trade.
If, like us, you were waiting until closer to the sail date to book with NCL, it seems excursions they have left are limited or the really expensive ones. And we didn't want to go on a really expensive tour.
We couldn't even see excursion options today, which is the day before we sail.
As Susan alluded, we have been through a complete transit of the canal before. We were on the Disney Wonder and we were the attraction.
I've seen statistics that say 2% of the ships that transit the Panama Canal are cruise ships, and Disney ships are even rarer.
I remember the locals lined up waving, taking pictures of us and the characters as we went through the canal. At one point we went to the lower deck in the ship while we were in the lock. I swear it looked like we could have reached out and touched the lock wall on both sides as we floated through.
It did. It was a real, I think the term is surreal experience.
I think so.
It was very different. Before that transit, we visited Panama City as a port on one of our other trips down to Lima, Peru.
We did a tour very similar to the full-day city and sightseeing and canal tour. We also put in the link from Viator for a private tour of the city, which, surprise, is called Private 6-Hour Tour Discovering Panama VIP. The first two tours we're going to talk about are 6 hours in length.
And the next tour is called the Full Day Panama City Sightseeing and Canal Tour with Private Guide.
So the thing with these private tours is they either take a car with 3 or 4 people or a small van with 6 to 8 people in it, maybe a bigger van with 12. So if you like these private tours, they do book up quite quickly.
The nice thing about the private tours is that the start and end times are flexible, whereas when you're on a group tour, you have to go when they go.
So hook up with some friends on the ship if you haven't got anything to do in Panama Canal and see how much it's going to cost to go on a private tour. The Panama Canal is made up of a series of locks that lift the ships up to 85 feet above sea level, allowing them to cross from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean. Today, a must-visit is the Miraflores locks, the closest to Panama City.
Tours include the Miraflores Visitor Center. You get a perfect view of the locks in operation. Watching the massive ships being raised and lowered is incredible, and you can really appreciate the precision and scale involved.
It really is amazing, and the ships, like literally, like we said, you could reach out and touch them. They're so close when they go through. Seeing the locks in action, you understand why it took over 10 years and more than 75,000 workers to build this canal. It's not just an engineering project, it's a testament to human determination.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
After watching the locks in action, we'll head inside of the museum to explore. It takes you through the history of the canal from the original French effort in the 1880s to the American completion in 1914 and the handover to Panama in 1999.
Yeah, just before Y2K. One of the highlights is the detailed model showing how the locks work. The museum also has fascinating exhibits on the canal expansion, which, when completed in 2016, were to accommodate today's larger ships.
I don't remember if our ship is a Panamax or if it's a bigger ship, so I'm not sure which lane the Encore is going through on this transit.
Well, that will be the mystery that will be solved, because we'll be doing lots of filming while we're there. There are interactive exhibits like the expansion model and the historical tools used for the canal's construction.
There's also a section dedicated to the wildlife in the canal zone. It's amazing to learn how they managed to protect the local ecosystem while building such a massive project.
Combine a city tour along with the canal. Last time we were there, we had time to walk along the Cinta Costera, a beautiful waterfront promenade that offers stunning views of the city skyline and the bay. Plus, they had time for a quick stop at the colonial town center, which dates back to the Spanish era.
When booking your tour, it's worth checking out Casco Viejo, Panama City's old town, for some local culture, shopping, and dining. All the tours we're suggesting have pickup at the Terminal de Cruces de Amado, where the Norwegian Encore is docked. We have a Panama Canal and City Tour experience.
A private small group tour of the city and the locks, which is about 5 hours, kind of the same as the city tour's 5 hours.
The next one that we've noted is a tour by boat, Panama Canal and Gatun Lake tour. It's a 5-hour tour as well.
There's a tour called Ocean to Ocean Panama Canal and Jungle Tour. 8 hours long, so we'll use up most of the day.
The next tour we're featuring is a shortened version, combo Panama Canal and Monkey Safari and Jungle Walk with a local brunch.
Well, you knew we were going to have to include at least one tour with food. Cruisers gotta eat after all.
Of course! We also did a Panama Canal cruise that just went into the Gatun Lake and back. That time we did a wildlife tour. It was very similar to the last tours that we've mentioned.
We enjoyed it and saw so many different jungle creatures, sloths, monkeys, birds of every description.
I think that was the tour where we saw huge flocks of parrots.
As always, we've included the Viator links in the description. Please use them. It costs you nothing extra, and it helps us out by providing a small commission.
We hope you have an amazing day in Panama City and getting up close to the Panama Canal.
It was definitely a highlight of our cruise last time we were there.
For sure. We hope you enjoyed coming along with us. Remember to
like,
subscribe,
and hit the notification button
so that you don't miss our next adventure.
We'll soon be sailing, and we won't be posting any more excursion videos for a while.
We hope to give you ship tours,
interview fellow passengers, and generally immerse you in our adventures aboard as we experience our DIY world cruise.
And if you're looking to travel more, especially in retirement, be sure to watch our other videos.
And if you hate packing and need some motivation, check out our packing video for tips and inspiration.
Our next port is Cartagena, Colombia. It's the day before Halloween. Ooh. Until next time.
Adios.
Goodbye.
We're it's time to cruise. Come and join us or watch our YouTube